Good day, fellow learners. Once again, this is your mentor, Ray, joining you for another teaching learning session, and this time on the topic about business plan. So today we'll be talking about the 12 parts of a business plans, and our objectives include the following. At the end of the session, the learners, and that's you, shall identify the parts of a business plan, identify the components of each part of a business plan, and then write an initial draft of a business plan that reflects all the parts of the business plan that we've discussed. So let's begin with the 12 parts. You have the cover page, table of contents, executive summary, business description, market analysis and strategy, marketing and sales plan, competitive analysis, management and organization description, products and services description, operating plan, financial projection and needs, and last but not the least, exhibits and appendices, which could be your favorite part. But remember this, that you would not be able to put anything there until you're able to get through the meaty parts of your business plan. So let's begin with the first one. It's the cover page. Now take note that in the cover page, it should include contact information for yourself and your partners. This is very important because once the investor who reads your business plan becomes interested in what you are proposing, it's going to be easy for them to locate for your contact details. Then include your logo if you have one or two sentences that reflects a descriptive summary, or it could just be a specific mission statement, or if your patient, if you have like a single liner description of what you intend to do. So in essence, you are coming up with your own slogan, and then use an elegant font and design to present to your would-be investor that what you have in mind is a business that is maayos. In essence, it reflects that your business plan is reflective of a well thought out idea with well thought out and well researched components. Okay, so and then our checklist for our cover page would definitely include these three: contact information, logo, and brief description. So here's an example. So you have the name of the company, and then you have your slogan. Okay, great ideas today for your future. I don't think this is their logo, but it could be a very attractive picture that's very representative of what they intend to do. And of course, the name of the proponent and the contact details. It's as simple as that. You can be creative. There's no mandated format for the cover page. What matters the most is you have the most essential parts that we've just outlined. Okay. Now, the second part of a business plan would be the table of contents. Now, make sure that you have demarcations for the main parts, specific parts, and accurate page numbers. There's no clear-cut rule as to whether you are supposed to come up with the use of Roman numerals for the main parts or capital letters, for as long as you are consistent throughout the text. And one of those things that a lot of those who write their business plans would not be so keen about is ensuring that the page numbers, the pagination, are specific to what is found on the table of contents. Specifically, if you've added figures or tables or pictures in between your text, it could have moved the labels for the parts. So it's very, very important that you first have to print it and check it against the table of contents that you have prepared and the printed page that bears the page number. In that case, you won't be able to miss out on the most important part that pisses off really, okay, a business plan reader. Okay, so the table of contents checklist includes your main parts, specific parts, and accurate pagination. Now, part 3 would be the executive summary. Now, this is the single most important part of your business plan. So what is included in the executive summary? Let me give you just one word that would give you an accurate description of what your executive summary should be. it contains, it's one word, highlights. Okay, so in a nutshell, it could be just 1 to 2 pages. To start strong, you could actually cite a recent statistics showing the trend in the industry which you would want to engage in. For example, if you would want to engage in the Yaya training program, you could say that since after the pandemic, jobs have increased and most of those housewives who are now working to help out in the family expenses would need to hire a yaya. So in one community, 90% of the households employ at least one yaya. So you could actually cite those statistics. And then it's also very, very important to relate how those statistics would eventually affect the opportunity that you see. Okay, so that could be your strongest selling point for your enterprise. Okay, so remember this, your summary should express the future success of the business. So what I would want to see if I'm going to read your executive summary would be, dapat maglalaway ako, natatakam ako, at dapat at the end of reading your executive summary, I would say, sige, itayo na natin to negosyo na to. But your projections must be based on realistic data. Do not fantasize and overshoot your targets. What is important is it breeds excitement. Your executive summary should breed excitement, the excitement of the reader. It should initially make them salivate about the opportunity that you found. Okay? So the content checklist for the executive summary, you have to have a brief description of the company, include the structure and the scale of operations, meaning should it be regional, should it be national, should it be global? Okay, always remember, start small, okay? And then present the goals and objectives, what you hope to achieve, okay? And then description of products and services, include your competitive advantage, what makes your product or your service unique. And of course, identify the characteristics of your target market, okay? And then include expenses and sources of revenue on the area that presents the cost. Then include the traditional and innovative strategies which you plan to employ for your marketing. And last but not the least would be the financial projections. Include your formula for financial success. So all of this will just be stated in general terms. You don't have to be very, very specific in your executive summary because the specific details should be contained in the body of your business plan. So in a nutshell, your business plan should only be 1 to 2 pages, okay? So you have to be realistic. Do not overshoot, do not fantasize. So remember this, write your executive summary last. So since it is the single most important part of the business plan, you have to make sure that it contains the necessary highlights that will make your reader come to you and say, let's put up the business right here, right now. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. And then part 4 would be business description. Here, the keyword is comprehensive, which means you have to make sure that your details are complete. And it includes the goals, the objectives, the legal structure of the business. Would it be sole proprietorship? Would it be partnership? Or would it be a corporation? So you have to specify. And for you to be able to do that, you have to go through the site of the Department of Trade and Industry and the Securities and Exchange Commission, or better yet, consult a lawyer on what is best for what you intend to come up with. And then the star of what you need to discuss and describe in a comprehensive way would be your products or services. That is the star of this part. And then, of course, definitely, who will use it? So you have to know your target customers, your base, your market. make sure that when you identify your market, it is capable of supporting what your business operations would entail. Okay, so include details on the industry trends, specifically major competitors. Now, there's no need for you to compare your business with that of your competitors. You don't need to denigrate them. What matters the most is to highlight how different you are in terms of managing the situation that they're currently doing. So what are the innovative aspects of what you intend to do? Okay, once again, you talk about yourself, your product, okay? Less of your competitor. And you can just even say that in the market, these are the existing competitions that we have. All of them are utilizing Western products. We intend to introduce locally produced products which are more aligned with the taste of the Filipinos. And that would be your selling point, okay? So include your team's experience, what sets you apart, but it's not nice naman that if you will include your team, you would show that you have pirated them from different parts. No, 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 that's not the way to do it. So if you introduce your team, you don't have to be giving the details that they graduated with Latin honors and they thought, no, 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 no. That's not what is needed. When you include your team, make sure you have a brief description of why that person is in your team. What are the things that that person could do to propel the business to where it should be, okay? And then specify if it is an existing business. This is what I'm trying to say. In our first video, what we said is you don't come up with the plan before the business. It is better when your business is running for 6 to 12 months before you come up with a plan, okay? And then include also whether this is a business plan for a new business or an expansion of an existing business. And then, of course, include its location. Now, you have to be very, very specific with the location. It has to be aligned with the image of the business. Of course, you don't want to put your restaurant near a funeral business. Okay. What would they think about yung lamang loob? Yun ang ginawa mong bopis. Okay. I remember in one of my travels up north before, we were looking for somewhere to sleep during the night. And then we came up, we came to a pension house, pero ang ilalim naman po ay puneraria. So you can just imagine. Of course, you don't also want to have like your parlor beside a puneraria. So who would be your customers? Okay, yung mga bangkay. Okay, so and then explain why the business will be successful. So the first person who should believe that you will be successful should be you. Because if you cannot spell out how your business will become successful, you won't be able to encourage your investors to believe in what you plan to do. So let's make things easy. Okay, so if you're writing your this part of your business plan, the first thing that you have to ask yourself is what? Ano ba ang meron? So pay particular attention, describe the market, the industry that you want to penetrate, cite statistics, okay? And then say, so what? So if 95% of the households now are employing yayas, so what? So identify the opportunity and check it out if it aligns with your expertise. Remember, as we said a while back, your business could either be market-driven or technology-driven. Technology-driven means it emanates from the expertise that you possess. Okay, and then after that, now what? So what will you do with the opportunity? So you have to have a goal and you have to have a plan. So it begins with what, so what, now what? Okay, so part 5 of the business plan would be your market analysis and strategy. Remember, the purpose is to research and identify your company's target market and where to find them. So ask this question, is this about location looking for a business versus a business looking for a location? Some people would do like this. Inuna nila na mag-put up ng building. Tapos yung pinut up nilang building, gusto nila resort. Okay? Tapos, yung mga kapitbahay naman niya, ay puro resort na pala lahat. Okay? So what happens now? So hindi ka pa man nag-uumpisa na dominate na yung market. Sometimes naman, okay, you have a business that's looking for a location. Say for example, you want to put up a bookstore. But definitely, you don't want to put up a bookstore doon sa area where you don't have schools and universities. Okay? So you have to look for the location to bring in that business. Okay? So ask yourself, is this about location, looking for a business, or is it about a business looking for a location? Then, pag naklaro mo na yon, you consider where is your market. That is the priority consideration. Okay? You need to provide evidence that there is a market. Okay? So which means this is the part in which you have to identify how much is the industry which you plan to penetrate growing. Are they growing 5% a year, 10% a year, 50% a year? But even if it's growing 100% every year, remember, if you are a startup business, okay, do not bite more than what you could chew. Okay? Remember, there was this story about two restaurants in the United States. So one restaurant was really selling its food very, very fast. So alam mo naman, nainggit ang mga kapitbahay. So what they did, they spied on that restaurant. Tinignan ang menu, kumain sila doon, tinignan ang service, and then sabi nung isa, biruin mo, nakukuha niya lahat yung mga population of the offices nearby. And if I can just get 10% of what they are catering to, malaki na ang kikitain ko. Matapyasan ko lang siya ng 10%. So gumawa na sila ng plano. Okay? Sabi nung isa, no, let's not go for the 10%. Let's go for the 60%. So magtatayo tayo ng mas malaking restaurant sa katapat. Bibili natin lupa, titibagin natin yung nakatayong struktura. Maglalagay tayo ng mga staff. Magpapay-rate tayo ng chef nila. So maglalagay tayo ng the same menu para yung kanyang spillover mapunta kagad sa akin. Wow, seems to be a bright idea. So what happened? Okay, on the day that they opened the restaurant, the competitor, the first one, the original restaurant, Restaurant A, let's call it Restaurant A, closed the restaurant. At naglagay siya ng signage that says, with due respect to our new neighbor who is offering an alternative set of foods, we would want you to try them. Go and try. Since ang gusto lang nila matapyas ay 50 to 60%, yun lang pre-napera nila, no? 50 to 60% ng regular daily customer nung original restaurant. So what happened? Since nagsara si original restaurant, lahat ng tao pumunta, okay, doon sa bagong restaurant. And so what happened? Hindi naluto ng maayos ang pagkain, hindi na-serve ng maayos ng mga waiter, ang haba ng pila, okay? So after the opening day, the second day, they didn't have any customer, walang napunta uli. Bakit? Hindi nga masarap eh. That's what you call reverse marketing. Dapat marunong kang lumaro sa market mo. Kung alam mong may competition, welcome them. It's the competition that would eventually set you apart. Okay? Don't look at it as something that would kill you. And don't ever try to kill your competitor. You won't be able to do that. Okay? You're going to kill yourself thinking of nasty strategies if you do that. So what is important is you believe in your product and you know what makes you unique. And then, in your market analysis, specify what your market needs are, the scalability, whether it's global, national, regional, and of course, the return of investment. And then, pay particular attention to the demographics, the social media presence, and the strategies for flexibility. Okay, so remember this, the end result of your market analysis should be why your business will be able to grab a piece of the pie. And make sure you have the right strategy when you target that percentage of customers that you want to get. So if you want to make your life a little more easy, this is actually a template for market analysis. You can go to this site and then use the template for your business plan. Okay, remember this. You can use charts, graphs, or simple text in this section. Share news that supports your projection. Okay, part 6 of your business plan should be the marketing and sales plan. So consider how will you market your products and services. So for the first month, what do you intend to do? Are you going to hit the market big right away? It's supposed to be a super bonga with even your TV interview, tri-media interview with press conference. Would you go that way? Or would you rather just be a little more conservative? Okay, try to feel through the market. Now, you also would need to answer this. How will you establish market presence? Would you need an endorser? Would you be the endorser yourself? Who would be the face of your business? Those are the things that you have to consider. Now, are you going to enter the market utilizing pricing as your main strategy, meaning you're going to lower down your price initially? Are you going to offer it for free? And then what would be your sales strategies? Who would speak and sell your product? Okay. And then how will your product stand out versus the competition? What's your unique selling point? These are the questions that you need to focus on for your marketing and sales plan. And if you want to make your life once again easier, check this out. That's asana.com. You have templates for your sales plan. Okay, so let's move on. So marketing and sales plan checklist includes your pricing, sales strategies and sales tracking, advertising and profile building, networking and promotion, partnerships, and other innovative strategies. Okay, business plan part number 7, your competitive analysis. So the first thing that you have to consider is, so what would be the market segment that you will be targeting? Is it the low end or the high end? If it's going to be the low end, kumbaga pang masa, so kailangan madami kang makuha kagad. Kasi ang masa, they can only pay as much. Kung high end ka naman, naku, kailangan mo magandang sobrang place, maganda ang location, mamahalin ang gamit. Because otherwise, the high end people will not go naman to your salon. Diba? So if you are a nurse and you want to put up your salon, what would be the selling point? Di ba? Kasi nurse ka, gawin mo kayang parlor na may vital signs taking muna bago kayo mag-start. At habang nagpipedicure ka, in-explain mo yung rationale bakit you need to ask whether the patient is diabetic or not, and why you have to cut the fingernail straight across and file it on the edges. So, which means you are giving health education in terms of foot care among diabetic patients. And then you could use that eventually as your tagline, okay? The healthy salon for people who wants to maintain health, okay? So yun ang selling point mo, okay? Saan ka nakakita ng parlor na may vital signs station, okay? And then identify your competitors' strengths and weaknesses. So turn their weaknesses into your strength, okay? Kung doon, kunwari, ang salon nila so crowded. So 20 right away ang nakaupo. Parang ang ingay-ingay. So maybe you would want to have a spa type of ambience and just limit your customer to 2 at a time. Of course, they will pay higher, okay? And with all the mood lights and the music, okay? Then identify potential issues in the market. Sometimes even government regulation could actually affect your market. Pandemic such as this could affect your market. Flight of professionals could affect your market. Then explain how you will improve upon existing products or services. So what are the things that you intend to do to keep on innovating your products? So all of these should be considered when you are coming up with your competitive analysis. So remember this class, if there are other companies that are already doing what you plan to do, it simply means there's a demand for what you want to do. But huwag ka nang makigulo. Okay? Ang dami-dami na nga gustong magtinda ng tupig, pagtitinda pa rin ng tupig ang gusto mo. Ang dami-dami na nga salon, isang buong hilera na kayo sa palengke na puro salon. Strive to be different. And sometimes it would just need a little tweaking. Diba? So, yun nga sinasabi ko sa'yo, diba? Nurse ka, ano ang bentahe mo? You want to put up a salon that's focused on the health needs of people with health issues. That's your selling point. So you have to be able to differentiate yourself from the crowd early on. Kasi kung para ka lang generic na lahat na kayo, ayun na lang ang ginagawa nyo. What sets you apart? Okay? So that's one thing that you have to remember. So part 8 of a business plan would be management and organizational description. So first, you have to identify your company manpower. Nung ako nag-umpisa, Diyos ko, mag-isa lang ako, 2 lang po ang empleyado ko. Okay? At sino naman yung 2 yon? Ang tatay ko at ang nanay ko. That's why I always say, I remember my 1, 2, 3 formula for success. Ano yun, sir? I started with one idea. Okay? Yung 2 empleyado ko, ang nanay ko at ang tatay ko. At may 3 naniwala sa gusto kong gawain. Okay, so when you are a new company, you would need a lot of advice. So this is where your friends could come in. If you have a lawyer friend, could give you insights about the legalities of the structure of the business that you want. If you have an accountant friend, then consult them for taxation. And pag hindi mo pa kaya magbayad, sa kaibigan muna. Okay, and then you may want also to identify what sets of professionals would you need to run your company. Sabi ko nga, nung kami nag-umpisa, ako lang tsaka nanay ko, tsaka tatay ko. Kami lang yon. Okay? We're doing marketing. So, paano yon? So, nagtuturo ako nun sa college, tapos Wednesday ang off ko, I have to take the bus. Okay, dahil wala man ako sasakyan, going to where I want to go for marketing ng Wednesday, and then babalik uli ako ng Wednesday night, then madaling araw mo makarating, magtuturo na naman ako. And then on weekends, okay, I do my masters. And then one time I told my mama, parang sobrang dami naman tong sabay-sabay na ginagawa ko, tumigil kaya muna ako ng isa. Tapos sabi niya, ano yung gusto mo itigil, anak? Sabi ko, wag muna kaya ako mag-masters para free yung weekend ko. Sasabihin niya, naku anak, balang araw, requirement yan. Okay, sige. Tumigil muna kaya ako pagtuturo sa university. Sabi niya, anak, paano yung pinapaaral mong kapatid mo? Oo nga, wala akong sweldo. So itigil ko muna kaya itong negosyo. Sabi niya, anak, nandiyan ka na. Natapos mo na yung pinakamahirap na itayo mo na. Kunti na lang. So ang ending, patuloy ko pa rin ginagawa yung napakarami kong ginagawa at the same time. But my mom was right all along. So lahat ng sinabi niya, she was never wrong. And when she told me that there will come a time that what you need will just come to you, not because they need you, but the universe is rewarding you for a job well done. Tama nga ang nanay ko. Okay, so sino ang human resources ko? Nanay ko. Sino ang staff ko? Nanay ko. Sino ang consultant ko? Nanay ko. Sino ang abogado ko? Nanay ko. Accountant ko? Nanay ko. Okay? So, and then, of course, eventually, pagka maganda-ganda na yung income nyo, paayos mo, whether from single proprietorship, gawin mo ng corporation. But make sure, class, when you turn it into a corporation, huwag kang masyadong mabait. Huwag kang matutulad sa akin. Okay? Originally kasi, may mga kumpanya kami binuksan na dapat sa akin na lang at sa nanay ko. But sobra ako mabait. Okay? Binigyan ko ng stocks lahat ng mga gusto kong bigyan. Then eventually, alam mo naman, yung iba, pag naging part na ng negosyo, nagkakaroon na ng interest. Okay, that's beyond what they're supposed to get. So you have to think about that. So sabi nga ng nanay ko dati, magulo kasi anak pag masyadong madami, pero makulit ako. Should have listened to her. Okay, next, use charts and include pictures if you want, specifically pictures of those who will be occupying your management position. Okay, so if you want to create one, check this app out. So this would help you create an organizational chart. Okay, that's by Asana. And then part 9 would be the part of a business plan that would deal with the products and services that you need to describe. So consider asking yourself this: how would the products be created and how would it be introduced to the market? Sinong gagawa ng produkto? So for example, kung yaya training ka, ang gusto mong ang business mo, so sinong magpuproduce ng training kit? Sino magpuproduce ng manual? Okay? At paano mo yun i-introduce sa market? And magkano ang gagastusin mo? You have to do the costing. Okay? So remember this, a product or service should match the characteristics, preference, that's the most important, and buying power of your target market. Alam mo naman Pilipino. Okay? Kahit gustong-gusto niya, kung wala siyang pambili, hindi niya mabibili. Pero wag ka, walang pambili ng libro, merong napaka-high-tech na gadget. That's very Gen Z. Okay? So, part number 10 would be the operating plan. So, consider where will be your operations. Saan ba gagawin yan? Sa bahay mo lang ba? Okay? Or kung yung yaya training sa clubhouse ba ng homeowners? So, magkano naman ang renta mo doon? Is it per hour or is it per day? And then, how will you operate? Sino ang maglalag ng mga participants? Sino ang mag-a-assist sa'yo? Kung ikaw na mismo yung magti-train, hindi naman pwedeng ikaw pa nagdi-distribute ng kits. Okay? So initially, how many employees do you need? Would you have partner companies? Like for example, will you call Red Cross to demonstrate CPR? If so, magkano ang gastos mo pag inimbita mo sila? All of those things must be spelled out in the operating plan. So you have to be very, very specific. Okay? So for you, para dumili uli ang buhay mo, here's another site in which you can create your own business processes. You can try it for free. Okay? So part 11 of the business plan would be your financial projection and needs. So kailangan may pakita mo what will be your source of revenue for the next 3 years? Because definitely, when a business is new, hindi pa yan kikita agad at magbe-break even. That's a joke or a misconception. So, when I started their first business, akala ko ganun din. Kikita na ako kagad. 0 income for the first 18 months. Pati Christmas bonus ko na ipang-abono ko. Until wala na akong pera. Okay? And my mom was diagnosed with cancer and she has to undergo chemotherapy. And it was a late stage thing. And nagpapaaral ako ng kapatid. I was doing my master's. Don't have any money anymore. But because one of those who had a very good experience with the program I created, the academic program I created, really like it so much. Yung parents niya, nung nabalitaan ko ano nangyayari sa amin, nagbigay ng gift. Sabi ng tatay ko, anak, may nagbigay na regalo sa'yo. Sabi ko, naku, ano kaya ito? Sabi ko pa naman, Lord, sana tulungan mo ko because wala na kaming capital, 3 months behind the rent and everything. Pagbukas ko ng box, lo and behold, pera. Somebody gifted me with cash. Sabi ko sa tatay ko, ba't nyo ito tinanggap? Sabi ng tatay ko, hindi ko naman alam, anak, na pera yan eh. Tumingin na lang ako, sabi ko, thank you, Lord. Alam nga naman mag-iinarte pa ako, no? Sinagot na nga ni Lord yung dasal ko. So I gave the parents of that participant a call and they said, Mr. Gapos, kasi nabalitaan namin your mom is sick and we know for a fact that you did more than what we expected from you to implement that academic program. And so as our gratitude, kesa mag-blow out kami, yung aming gagastusin doon sa malakihang selebrasyon, dinodonate na lang namin sa'yo kasi alam namin kailangan mo. That situation keeps coming back. It keeps rewinding over and over my mind such that whenever we have debates in the company about raising fees or what, that situation always would guide me with my decision. And I would always ask myself, what is the reason why I'm here? Bakit ba ako nandito? So, di ba sabi natin, dun sa 3 layers na kailangan mo ma-target if you want to be an entrepreneur, the mind, the heart, and the wallet. Last dapat mong tinitingnan yung wallet ng customer mo. So you have to be innovative about your sources of revenue. And then make sure that you are clear with your financial statements. You know the cash flow, ano yung mga papasok, ano yung mga lalabas, and then specify and justify how funds will be spent. Like for example, ilang % ng capital mo ang pupunta sa equipment, ilang % ang pupunta sa manpower, ilang %, lahat yon dapat naka-specify. Okay? So, as a beginner, I'm not expecting you naman na lahat yon sakto. Meron ka lang mailagay na item doon to prove to us na kaya mo maglagay na training facility ka tapos ang kuryente mo, ang allotment mo lang is 3,000 a month. Wala namang ganun. Paano yung Ano yung electric pa nang gagamitin mo? O mag-aircon? Kung mag-aircon, nasa 8 to 10,000 naman yan a month. Okay? So you have to be very realistic about your estimates. Remember, your financial plan, which means the projection and the needs, demonstrates how your business will become profitable. So dapat yun ang tinitingnan mo. Paano siya kikita at paano mo aalagaan ang kita niya. Okay? So, always be conservative. Don't fantasize. Huwag mo munang binibilang ng hindi mo pa nahahawakan. Huwag ka munang bibili ng kotse mo ng hindi mo pa nahahawakan at di mo pa nasisingil at hindi mo pa nai-implement. Kahit na may kontrata na, until it's done and you are paid, you don't have the funds yet. Okay? So always remember, start small, be simple. And remember, wealth is not about how much you make. Wealth is defined by what remains of how much you make. Okay? Ang mga mayayaman, marunong yan magtipid. Okay. Next, so for your financial plan, okay, our checklist would include break-even analysis. So, ilang months bago ka mag-break-even, nabawi mo na ang pinuhunan mo, projected balance sheet, then projected income statement, and then projected cash flow. Okay? So once again, para hindi humirap ang buhay mo, check this out. Okay? You can plan your cash flow and you can do your forecasting, okay, using this site. Okay? And then part 12 of the business plan would be exhibits and appendices. This could be your favorite. Why? You place here the resume of company management. Make sure that you just have one brief resume for each, 1 page or even half a page for each. The permits, if you already have it, the marketing research findings, proposed marketing materials, sample of your flyers, a picture of your tarpaulin, or minsan yung iba, Diyos ko, naka-billboard na kaagad. Okay, eh napakaliit pa ng negosyo. Ang ini-advertise lang pagkikilay, kailangan pa naka-billboard sa highway, Sus Mariosep. Ilang kayang tao ang magpapagawa ng kilay dyan para mo mabayaran yung 90,000 a month na cost ng billboard advertisement mo. Pero sabi nga ng nanay ko, okay, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. Pero wag naman yung sobrang ganong kamahal agad-agad. Then, proposed marketing materials, legal documents, pictures of the product, okay? And of course, financial documents. Like for example, yung mga projections na ginawa ninyo, it has to be there, okay? For easy referencing. Once again, para dumali ang buhay mo, my advice, log onto this site to make your life a little more easy. Okay, so you have a free business plan. All you have to do is to get the template that you need. For example, dito ka sa professional services. Click mo yan, may lalabas na dyan na template. You just have to fill it up. So I hope with this presentation, I made your life a little more easy. Kasi kung ang pag-uusapan talaga ay yung tedious process of creating a business plan, naku po, isang buong semestre na lesson yan sa Masters in Entrepreneurship. At isang buong taon mo yang gagawin dahil kailangan mo pa yang i-defend. But as a beginner, we're not asking the sun and the moon and the stars from you. We're just asking you to go through the process so that you know what to do just in case you will venture into a business. Okay? So with that, thank you so much. This is your mentor, Ray, saying maraming salamat po. It was a short engagement with all of you, and I look forward to meeting you in person when the time comes. And I just hope I can inspire you to become entrepreneurs with a heart. Okay, thank you.